Hi everyone, my name's Christiana and welcome to or back to my channel. In today's lesson, I am going to teach you how to introduce yourselves in English. So let's get on to the video. We are often asked or expected to introduce ourselves in both formal and informal contexts, which can be nerve-wracking. Rather than teaching you a general way to introduce yourself, I am going to structure this lesson by context. We will look at introducing ourselves formally and informally. This lesson will focus on spoken introductions, and a future lesson will concentrate on written introductions, such as those used when applying for a job or writing a blog. Let's start by introducing ourselves in informal social gatherings. You are at a party and someone you have never met before starts to talk to you, or vice versa. You could introduce yourself by saying, "Hi, I'm," and then your name. "Hi, I'm Christiana." Let's look at this in a bit more detail. Introductions tend to go hand in hand with greetings. If you haven't seen my video on spoken greetings and you would like to, the link is in the description box below. As you will probably remember from our first lesson on contractions, I'm is the contracted form of I am. The reason we contract I am is because it is quicker to say and it sounds more natural. You could also say, "My name is," or "my name's," but this is still less natural than I'm. Once you have told them your name, you could introduce yourself further. It is important to ask yourself what you want the other person to know about you and what you think they would be interested to know. For example, at a party, it is unlikely that the first thing you will say is that you work in a bank. Instead, you might contextualise how you know the person throwing the party. "Hi, I'm Christiana. I'm an old friend of Hannah's." You could then follow this with a question. "How about you?" Or, "How do you know Hannah?" "Hi, I'm Christiana. I'm an old friend of Hannah's. How about you?" If the conversation starts to flow and you would like to keep talking, you can introduce yourself in more detail, perhaps moving on to discuss your career, hobbies, or interests. In any situation, you should ask yourself these questions. Where am I? Why am I here? Who am I talking to? What do I want them to know about me? And what do they want to know about me? Perhaps some new neighbours have just moved in and you would like to introduce yourself. Again, you would probably start the conversation with a greeting followed by your name. "Hi there, I'm Christiana." You could introduce yourself further by saying, "I live 2 doors down," or "I live next door," for example. Then you could add a friendly, "It's nice to meet you." "Hi there, I'm Christiana and I live next door. It's nice to meet you." An important thing to remember is that it is not polite to address someone by their first name unless they invite you to do so. Therefore, when you introduce yourself, it is always good to make it clear what you like to be called. You might have a nickname, for instance. Hi, I'm Susanna, but you can call me Susie. You can call me is a good phrase to use. In formal situations, you may be asked to introduce yourself in more detail. Tell me a bit about yourself. This can be stressful and requires a bit more preparation, but you should still ask yourself the same questions as before. Where am I? Why am I here? Who am I talking to? What do I want them to know about me? What do they want to know about me? At the beginning of a job interview, the employer might ask you to tell them a bit about yourself. Similarly, if you attended an English speaking lesson and the teacher wanted you and the other students to get to know one another, they might ask you to take part in an icebreaker activity. We are going to go around the class so that everyone can tell us a bit about themselves. When asked about themselves, people tend to talk about their jobs or where they live. You might choose to do the same. I'm from London. I live in London. If you talk about your job, it is important to remember that a job is a countable noun, so it must be preceded by an article. This is usually an indefinite article, a or an. I am a chef. However, if you have an individual and unique job, you can use the definite article. I am the head chef at Buckingham Palace. Again, you would contract I am to I'm. Another popular topic is hobbies or interests. I enjoy baking, swimming, playing the piano, and diving. I love baking, swimming, playing the piano, and diving. In my spare time, I like baking, swimming, playing the piano, and diving. During the icebreaker activity, you might choose to introduce yourself by saying why you have joined the English class. Hi, I'm Christiana. It's nice to meet you all. I've joined this class because I'd like to improve my pronunciation and make some new friends. I'm here because. I've joined this class because. During a job interview, you might choose to introduce yourself by showing enthusiasm for the role and focusing on skills you have that make you a good candidate. I applied for this job because I have always been a strong communicator and a good listener with a passion for helping others. I believe teaching is the right path for me. In both situations, you have assessed where you are, why you are there, who you are talking to, what you would like them to know about you, and what you think they would like to know about you. Whilst the introductions are different, they are similarly structured. Okay, now imagine that you are a university student perhaps some of you are, and you are attending a networking event to connect with other students. This could also apply to a workplace networking event. Is this a formal or an informal situation? It is certainly more formal than the party we were talking about earlier. So how might you introduce yourself? You could start with a greeting, hi or hello, and then you could follow this by explaining what you are studying at university. Hi, I'm Christiana. I'm a third-year biomedical sciences student. What about you? I'm a student. I study. I'm in first, second, or third year. In the workplace, hi, I'm Christiana and I work in the technical team. How about you? Here are some phrases you could use. I work in. I work for. My role involves. My job is to. As I said earlier, it is often good to ask a question after introducing yourself because this gives the other person an opportunity to speak, and it enables you to direct the conversation towards what you would like to talk about. The difference between a spoken introduction and a written introduction is that a spoken one tends to involve some engagement from the person you are talking to. If you walked up to someone and immediately recited 200 words about yourself, they might be a little surprised. Finally, we are going to look at introducing ourselves before we make a speech or talk to a room full of people. The reason I have chosen this context is that it involves a different sort of introduction. I will only briefly address it because we can do another lesson on how to structure a speech if that is something you are interested in. Begin with a greeting followed by your name, and then tell the audience what you are going to talk about. Hi, I'm Christiana, and I am going to teach you how to introduce yourselves in English. Here are some phrases you could use. I am going to. My plan is to. My aim is to. I am here to. Setting up a clear agenda from the very start is important when making a speech. If the speech relates to you personally, you can tell the audience why if you feel comfortable doing so. My name's Christiana, and I am going to teach you how to introduce yourselves in English. My interest in teaching English began when I completed a course with the TEFL Academy in 2023. In formal situations, you are unlikely to discuss too many personal details unless they are relevant. I introduced myself by giving you my name. I then let you know what I intended to do, what I wanted you to know about me, and what I thought you wanted to know about me. If you have seen the introduction to my channel video, that is an even better example. Thank you so much for watching my overview of how to introduce yourself in English. I will do a lesson focusing on written introductions, and I can also do lessons which look at certain contexts in more detail if you would like me to. In the meantime, here is an activity for you if you are interested. comment section, introduce yourself and say why you decided to watch this video today. Please also comment if you have any video requests, and have a lovely weekend. Bye!